This is lesson 4 in our troubleshooting course where we're building a digital multimeter. Go to page 2 of this PDF file. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at assembling sections D and E, deal with the resistance and buzzer circuit assembly, and the capacitor and transistor circuit assembly. Go to page 19 of this PDF file, which would be page 18 of your paper copy. In your parts box, you'll find a bag labeled section D, and this has the components that we're going to be inserting in this next part of our building our digital multimeter. Have some resistors again, like before, but what's new here is a thing called a thermistor. This actually is a temperature-dependent resistor. It's going to act as a limiting factor for current coming into our meter, mostly in the sense of a protection circuitry. Have some more capacitors, and then the hardware this time is going to be a thing called a buzzer. Again, we're going to insert the components as indicated on the legend on the board. The thermistor looks something like this. And the buzzer is a disc. And it's very similar to what you'd find in a wristwatch. Once you finish that assembly, there's a testing procedure as before, but this time we're just going to follow the things that are instruction manual. So we're going to start out by getting some resistors from the parts cabinet and just checking our scales. And check out the buzzer by shorting the leads. This will let us do some continuity tests with the multimeter without having to look at the meter, just listening for whether something is conducting or not. The AE room supervisor has a diode for you to do the testing, indicated here, and with the appropriate values that you're going to read on the meter. Again, once you finish this section, we'd like the instructor in the room to sign off that you've completed this successfully. The next section is section E. We're doing, again, some assembly and testing. Quite a bit more resistors this time. More capacitors, diode and op-amp assemblies. Also another socket, this time also a transistor socket. Again, we're going to put the parts in as indicated in the legend on the printed circuit board. The transistor sockets look something like this. We'll be inserting those and soldering those too. Again, be careful of the diodes. They do have a polarity, so it's important to put them in the correct way. This is sort of what our meter will look like as we've proceeded to this point in assembly. And of course, again, we're going to do some testing on making sure everything is working correctly. So we're going to do testing again with just the steps that are here in the instruction manual. The AE room supervisor has a capacitor for you to use in this test where we've pre-measured it, so we have a pretty good idea what its exact value is. And in this section, we're going to be testing a PNP and an NPN transistor. Explain more about these in the remainder of the course. The NPN transistor, part number 2N3904, and for the PNP, it's 2N3906. And again, once you finish this, I'd like the room supervisor to sign off that you've completed this successfully. And so this is the next two sections of our assembly of a meter.